I've telegraphed and phoned, I've sent an airmail special too. Your answer was goodbye, and there was even postage due. I fell in love just once, and then it had to be with you. Everything happens to me. First I thought that you could break this jinx for me, that love would turn the trick and end despair. But now I just can't fool this head that thinks for me.
What a hug.
I've mortgaged all my castles in the air. I've telegraphed and phoned, I've sent an airmail special too. Your answer was goodbye, and there was even postage due. I fell in love just once, and then it had to be with you. Everything happens to me.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 25 of the Stringing It Together podcast, which is crazy. 25 episodes is a lot. That's a quarter of 100. So, wow. That's exciting. So, anyway, my name is Becky, and I'm coming to you from Frankfurt, Germany, where I live with my 2 cats. And thank you so much for watching, whether you are a new viewer or a returning viewer. This is a crafty podcast mainly centered around knitting, but also some sewing now, which is very fun. So yes, thank you so much for joining us. And you can find me on social media as Soprano Knits, which I will pop up right now. I'm on Instagram and Ravelry as Soprano Knits. And then please come over also and join our group for the podcast, which is the Stringing It Together podcast group, which you can find linked below, and also just by searching in Ravelry, of course. So speaking of the group, we have a couple of things going on there. The first of which is the Taunus Cal. So that is a knit along for my self-published sock pattern, the Taunus socks. So there is a chatter thread up there and an FO thread. Sorry, my cat is making a lot of noise. Yes, it's been a little quiet over there. So if you guys are joining in and you want to go over and chatter a little bit, that would be fun. In terms of prizes for the Cal, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of put together a big, nice prize with a bunch of stuff and probably just give away one prize. So I don't have everything yet. Someone really graciously offered to send some beautiful stitch markers, which I will show off when they arrive. And I am going to donate a ball of sock yarn, and also I'm thinking I'm going to try to make a project bag for the winter. So that will happen later. But as for the yarn, I'm not quite sure. It's going to be one of these 2. I went and picked up some Regia Arnie and Carlos Perfect yarn. So it's going to be one of these 2. I haven't actually used the Perfect, but I have used Arnie and Carlos. I know that this can be hard to get in the United States and other parts of the world, so I'm going to include one of those. One will go to you guys, and one is going to go to the wonderful Gabby, because I am sending her a care package of German yarn. So once I'm going to let her choose when she gets back to me on which colorway that she wants. The other one will go in the giveaway, but they're both beautiful. I tried to choose ones that were like fall colors, and yay, because you guys, it's mid-August already. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. Okay, so moving on. We had a giveaway for the Oracle shawl by the wonderful Kristen of Volin Vine Yarns and the Yarngasm podcast. So I just drew a winner. I lost the thread, and the winner was post number 15, S.L. Hargis, who I believe is Shauna. So yay! Congratulations, Shauna. And I will get in touch with Kristen and have her send the pattern over to you. If you guys don't have your copy of the pattern yet, run and get your own. It's so beautiful, and already people are finishing their pie shawls, which is insane. And Kristen keeps posting the most beautiful things up on Instagram, and I am resisting. I'm resisting the urge. I do want to knit it, but I have a lot on the needles right now. So yeah, I'm going to wait a little while, but you should not. You should not. So thank you so much, Kristen, again for that giveaway. And we have another giveaway from another podcaster friend. So this giveaway is from Ellie of Skein Deer Knits. And Ellie is doing something really awesome. She has a Selbu Mitten Club. And if you get a membership to the club, you will get her already existing Selbu Mitten pattern, as well as 4 additional patterns that will be released monthly from September through December. So really, really awesome for gift knitting and trying your hand at color work. She's designed them to be for beginners and also DK weight, so they'll knit up pretty quickly. So I'm really, really excited about that. So congratulations, Ellie. It is so exciting. So I will put another thread up there. I believe the first new pattern is being released on September 1st, so which will be around the time I record next. So that will be good. So I will open a thread for that. I will probably have the same prompt that I had for the Oracle giveaway, which was tell me 3 things that you're looking forward to in the next 24 hours. It was really, really good to look through that thread. So if you just need a little dose of happiness in your life, do go over there and read the entries from the Oracle shawl and the upcoming ones for the Selbu mittens. Oops, I should turn that off. Yeah, it just brings me a lot of joy, and I think it's a good thing for us all to think about. So yes. So that is it. So we can now move on to finished objects. And I just have one, but it is a happy one. They are my Volca socks. So this is a pattern that I have designed, and I finished the sample. I knit one sock before in a different color, which is this one right here. I have to finish the second sock. I will, so that I have a pair. But this is in the beautiful, beautiful yarn from Gabby, who is, of course, Once Upon a Corgi Yarns. And yes, so this is her Hedwig colorway, and this is Dark Like My Soul is the contrasting color, and this is one of the color combinations that will be available in the exclusive kits that we are releasing for the Volca socks. I'm hopefully putting on the screen the date when those will be released. We're shooting for an early September date, and I'm just planning on releasing the pattern on the same day when that happens. So yes. So I'll talk a little bit more about these now. Yeah, so this is the pattern, and this is also the beautiful progress keeper that Hannah of the Corner of Craft Etsy shop and YouTube channel and the Crafty Chat podcast has designed. So when you get a kit, you will get the yarn, the pattern, and one of these progress keepers. And there are 2 different colors of these and a couple different color combinations. There are 2 bases to choose from. One is her MCN base, which I knit the sample in, and that is called her Penny base, pretty sure. And the other one is her Isaac base. Yeah, which is her Pulworth base, which is also really, really beautiful. She sent me a mini of it. And yeah, so we are very, very excited about that. And I'm happy that some of you are as well. So yeah, the progress keepers are flying through the air to them. Also, Gabby and Hannah are kindly test knitting the pattern for me. So those will be out soon. I also do want to mention that the pattern, again, uses my new Depths heel, which I released in June as part of the Town of Socks and also as a separate pattern. When I release this pattern, I'm also going to add an update to that pattern. I decided I'm going to give you more options for stitch counts for the gussets, and I'm going to kind of, on the last page, if you just want me to do your math for you, I'm going to insert all the numbers that you should have for how many turns to do on the heel and that kind of thing. And then I think I might also add information on how to figure out how long the heel is, because somebody had emailed me a question about that. And I thought that was a good question, especially if you knit your socks toe up. And I can't give you a hard and fast measurement for that because A, everyone's gauge is different, and B, everyone is using a different stitch count. I give you numbers for 3 suggested stitch counts that are very common for adult socks. However, maybe you want to knit socks for a child or what have you. Just use your own stitch count. So I'll tell you how to figure that out of exactly, how much room the gusset and the heel takes up so you can make them fit you perfectly. Yay! So I am very excited about that. The pattern is pretty much finished, except for I have to take pictures. I just finished the last one this morning, so I need to block those and then take photos, which is exciting and scary. Mostly exciting. Okay, so yeah. Oh, and also I meant to mention, if you have purchased the New Depths heel pattern already, I am going to, when I send you a little note on Ravelry about the update, I'm also going to send you a discount code so that if you would like to get the Volca socks and you've already invested a little bit in the heel pattern, then I'll just give you a little discount since the heel pattern also comes with the socks, if that makes sense. So yeah, just as a little thank you for supporting my heel pattern, and yeah, that's it. So I will send that to you when it happens, so be on the lookout in your Ravelry mailbox if you already have the heel pattern. My battery is going to die. One moment. I'll be right back with whips. Oh, someone stole my seat. We share. I was sitting here. Okay, so now I'm on the edge of my seat because Willow decided to steal my chair. Okay, so let's talk about works in progress because I have quite a few. My first work in progress are my just some vanilla socks that I'm knitting from Once Upon a Corgi yarn. And I showed these last time. This is still the first sock. I haven't worked on these a whole lot. I was focusing on my Volca socks. But I was here where this little pineapple is. So I did the heel, and now I'm here. Another New Depths heel. That's about it. This is the La Dame Death colorway in Gabby's Marie Cutie base. Sorry, Willow is the cats are. No, don't play with that needle. They're being crazy. They get excited. They get excited about the podcast. What can I say? Okay, that's all I'm going to say about those, really. It's just my normal recipe, but the yarn is so beautiful, and they make me happy. Yes, those are like train knitting socks, which is good. Next up is, I wonder if I'm in the middle of the row. I probably am, knowing me. Nope, that's the wrong project, but I'll talk about this. This is my Siri cardigan, which I've showed many times because it is taking me forever to knit, but it's so pretty. There it is, and you guys, I have a sleeve. So the sleeve is finished, except for I haven't bound it off yet, but my goal was to get the sleeve finished before I recorded, so it is. Yeah, so I'm going to do a tubular, that's what it's called, yeah, tubular bind off on that. That's what I did for the hem. It's a labor of love, but it looks great. So I am very excited I have a sleeve. So what I'm going to do next is the button band because I hate doing it. And then I'll do the other sleeve. So yeah, cardigans kind of take forever for me to do, but I'm going to power through this. I also am looking to finish this as part of Lara of the Fawn Knits knit along. I can't remember what it's called. She's doing a sweater knit along though. So go over and look at that in her Ravelry group. So I'm definitely going to finish this for that. It's going to happen. Next up is my shawl in the project bag that I made myself, which I really like actually. I love this size. This is my Speckled Fade Dotted Rays by Stephen West. Yep, I'm in the middle of the row. Aw, that stinks. It's way harder to show that way. Bummer. Okay, we're just gonna leave it though, because I'm really far off. So I actually did get a lot of progress done on this. Here is my progress keeper showing where I was the last time. And I know that this doesn't look like a ton of, sorry, motorcycle or something, a ton of work, but these rows are extremely long. You can see, yeah, this is my like meter long cable and it's just totally bunched up on here. So yeah, I am working now on, what is this colorway? Film Noir colorway from Hedgehog Fibers in their singles base. So, yep, there it is. And I think I'm just going to do the large size. He has a super large size, but this is already going to be giant. And I'm going to do a fancy border. And I just, oh my gosh, I just ripped out like a bunch of stitches. Podcast woes. We all know how it goes. I'm going to have to fix a bunch of those. I have some drop stitches, but there it is. There's the blob. You know, it's going to be good. Again, I really want to get this finished. It's been on the needles for quite a while. But yeah, there's been some other designing priorities, including some things that I want to do, and yet they scare the crap out of me, so I haven't gotten very much work done on them. And I can't show them to you yet. So there's that. So those are the works in progress that I can show you, and that is it for the knitting at the moment. Yes. Okay, so moving on to sewing. I am wearing a sewing finished object. So this is the Willow Top by Green Line Studios. This is the second one I made. I did make a pajama version, if you remember. Yep, so this is it. I am really proud. I think it's on this side. Look at that. The pattern, like the horizontal lines lining up is perfect, except for right here. But that was unavoidable with the dart. This side, it's almost perfect. It's pretty good. So anyway, yeah, this wasn't a stiffer fabric than the last one I used. It's probably just like a quilting cotton weight. The other one was just a little bit softer. So for this one, I found, when I first sewed the side seams, I tried it on and it looked really huge. I mean, it's supposed to be kind of boxy, but I think just the fabric kind of being stiffer made it look really big on me. So I ended up taking it in quite a bit. Yeah, I had originally traced the second to smallest size. Yeah, so I don't remember exactly what I did. But yeah, I think I just left the seams on there that I did, then I basted it in like 1/4 of an inch maybe on each side. Maybe more, I don't remember. Which probably isn't good that I don't remember. But I think, again, the other one I liked the fit. But this one I decided to make longer as well. So I added 5 centimeters in length, just because, again, the other one I tried it on. It's fine for pajamas, but I wanted to be able to wear this to work, and I just wanted it to be a little bit longer. So yeah, that's it. The darts were fine. I had a little bit of trouble with the binding on the neckline again, and there's just like a little bit of a pucker right here, which you can kind of see, but it doesn't really bother me that much. I think for my first time doing striped pattern, I lined it up pretty well, which was, I worked pretty hard to do that. I just cut out the pieces separately because when I was trying to cut on the fold and it was not going to happen. So I cut a single layer, that's what I mean. Of course I cut them out separately. But yeah, so I traced like half of the front, and then I moved the piece over and I traced the other half of the front, if that makes sense. So anyway, that's finished. Yay! That's very good. And then I also have a very small project. That was my first time sort of drafting my own pattern. And it's a little bit silly and I'm a little bit embarrassed because it's far from perfect, but I'm going to show it to you anyway because learning experience. So I made a little eye mask because I had one that I had gotten for free on a plane and the elastic eventually popped off. And I could have easily sewn the elastic back on, but you know, it was a free one from a flight. It wasn't very nice. And I thought, you know, I'm going to try to make my own, especially because I had a lot left of this cute fabric I made my pajamas in. That was a duvet cover that I bought used at the flea market. So yeah, so what I did is I just traced around the one that I already had and then added a little bit more for a seam allowance, sort of just made a pattern piece, traced it out on the fabrics, and then I had some lightweight iron-on interfacing, and it was a lighter weight than I thought I wanted, so I ironed it onto both pieces, and it turned out really great. It has a good amount of weight, but it's still soft and flexible, but you can't see through it. Ooh, I can't see you. So the light doesn't really get through. And then so then I put right sides together, I sewed around, left 2 holes on the sides. So the one thing that I just was sort of a oops is that I then made this tube to encase the elastic, and I just forgot that the elastic, of course, has to be shorter than the tube if I was gonna like sew them both onto the sides. So I made them the same length, and then I decided, because I don't have like a loop turner, I think they're called, so turning this tube inside out was a huge pain. I was like, I don't want to do that again, it's just for me. So I had stitched this already to the side, I ripped it out, and then I just stitched the elastic onto the actual piece, and then the tube is just sort of freely scooting around. So you can see a little bit of the elastic poking out when it's on, but on that part it doesn't bother me. And I also just this doesn't look good, but I just stitched over the outside of it. I know I could have hand stitched it or something to hide it, but I don't care. It's going to be on my face while I'm asleep. And I still think it's cute, and I may make one for Nathan, because I think he was saying he would like one, as his room also gets really bright in the morning. So yeah, I know how to make it perfectly now. It was really easy. It took me, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, probably from start to finish, to throw this together, including making the piece and cutting out the fabric. So that was just like a funny little project that I did. So there you go. Okay, so I have a couple of sewing acquisitions because I went to London, and we don't have that good of a fabric selection here in Frankfurt. It's pretty disappointing. I'm not really happy with the prints, especially that I see, and then the prices are pretty high. So even though with the pound being pretty strong, I knew that I wanted to do a little bit of shopping in London. And I did make a little stop at Liberty, which I had never been to before. And I didn't get any fabric. It's really expensive, as most of you sewers will know, and someday I will splurge, but I'm way too new of a sewer to risk that. I mean, it would be crazy, spending like £100 on a dress. Just no, not yet. But what I did get is I really wanted some thread cutting scissors for my machine, because I don't really have any. I've just been using like a seam ripper to cut the spare threads. So I got this little scissor case and scissors. The scissors are really pretty. I have a little thing on there. And yeah, so this is out of Liberty fabric. And then I think I'm just going to put another nail up and kind of hang it on the wall behind my machine, because it's really beautiful. So that was one little treat that I bought for myself from Liberty. And then I bought some fabric. So I will talk about this more in life stuff, but and I'm sure you've seen some footage. Nathan and I went out to the countryside outside London. It was totally amazing. And we ended up at the end of our hike in Lewis, which is like a really nice little, because it's a town, it's a larger town. And we found a fabric and yarn store. The yarn was all commercial. It was kind of disappointing. I was hoping for some really local stuff, especially like wandering through those fields of sheep all day, but alas. But they did have a little fabric section as well, and I saw this fabric that I really liked, so I picked some up, and here it is. I think it says on the selvage edge what it is. Yeah, it's Rose and Hubble fabrics. You can kind of, I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, it's just this really pretty floral on like a cream background. And it's a woven, but it's pretty lightweight. It's probably like a lawn. I am not totally sure. I'm bad at fabrics, but I think it will be okay. And now I just made it look horrible. But what I am planning on doing with this is, in my Love at First Stitch Tilly and the Buttons book, I am planning on making the Mimi blouse. which is this blouse right here, which I think is really pretty. There we go. Yeah, it's like a vintagey button down. And I think I'm just going to do it all in one color. Hang on, I don't want to give away any of the details, but I know that there are some other colors like this. You can do like a different color neckband. I think I'm just going to leave it. Also because I have a really hard time finding lightweight cotton wovens here in Frankfurt. So it's pretty much all quilting cotton, which is why my bateen dress that I made out of a woven fabric is just really stiff. Like I just couldn't, I'm having a hard time finding softer things. So yeah, and I went and I bought some buttons today. I didn't bring them over, but they are the same sort of orangey red, and they're just little round buttons down the front, and I think that that will be really nice. So yeah, it'll be my first time doing buttonholes. There are a lot of kind of new techniques that I have to do on here, so that will be an adventure. And then I decided to go to Sew Over It. Sew Over It is a independent pattern designing company, but they also have a store in London. So Nathan and I went in there. I was looking at the fabrics. There was one I really, really loved, but I needed a lot of it, and again, it's just getting kind of expensive, especially since I'm new at this. I'm afraid to spend that much on something. So yeah, but they did have some scraps or remnants, I guess, because they're not scrappy. They're really big. So I ended up picking this up. So this is a pattern, or yeah, a fabric that I guess they're going to have in a kit for a dress pretty soon. So they were cutting them all for kits, and they had some really large remnants left over. And this was 2 meters 80, and she sold it to me for the price of 2 meters, which I thought was really good. And again, because it wasn't on the bolt, I'm not sure what it is. It's a woven fabric, but I think it has like some viscose in it or something, but it's super drapey. And I was thinking about making their pattern the Betty dress out of this fabric. I should have just enough. The only thing I'm kind of worried about is that since it is a bigger floral pattern, I'm glad that Kristen of Olivine talked about this recently on her podcast, like trying to avoid giant flowers in awkward places. And yeah, that could be a bit of a challenge. I didn't really think about that when I bought it. But this was the biggest piece that they had left over, and I think it'll be really, really nice. So I'm going to hold on to that for a little bit and maybe do a few other projects because, yeah, I mean, I got a good deal on it, but it still wasn't dirt cheap. It's still really, really beautiful fabric, and I want to make sure that I do a good job when I sew it. So yes. I have one more acquisition. It's a finished garment. Wait, I left it in the other room. Okay, so Nathan and I went to a vintage kilo sale in London. So you go and there's vintage clothes and you pay for it by the kilo. I was overall pretty disappointed. It said vintage, but I was seeing things from H&M. There were also a lot of like just kind of boring things like button-down denim shirts. They had like racks of those, and they had a lot of like random American like high school football shirts, and like it was kind of weird. Maybe that's like cool to other people, but for Americans we were like, Nathan found this really cool John Lewis like blazer that was like blue velvet, and I was like, you have to get that, it's awesome. And he told me I had to get this. So this is a 100% alpaca poncho. And yeah, it says it was made in Peru on the tag. And I don't know, I put something on my Instagram stories being like, I don't really know if I can pull this off. It's really warm out today, but I will indulge you. This is the poncho, and I just thought, okay, it is like kind of awesome. It's the similar color as my hair, which doesn't look so good on me, but you know, some jeans, like going to the market, my poncho on. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys because I do think it's like pretty hilarious and kind of cool, right? It's got some fringe. I do have to secure a few stitches on the back, I think, because this is going on. So yeah, they're not unraveling because, of course, before I bought it, I looked at that. Well, no, actually, I guess it is. Yeah, I can, yeah. There are some live stitches. I think the yarn just broke at one point. So I'm going to have to try to find something that kind of matches it, or even some thread, and secure those before going out in it. But yeah, I thought if nothing else, it's kind of funny. I'll probably wear it. If I don't, I could always pass it on to someone. But I don't know. As a knitter, you know, we always look at this kind of stuff, I think. And it's 100% alpaca, so it's not acrylic or anything like that. So it's super warm. So yes, that was another funny thing. So that's really it for what I'm working on, what I bought, everything like that. Like I said, I went to visit Nathan in London, and then we had this amazing day going out to the country. I think I did kind of, we did some parodies of the show Escape to the Country, which I know a lot of people are into, and like British people think that we're weird because it's like not, anyway, it's like a house hunter show, but it's in the countryside of Britain. So it's kind of amazing. I'll probably put that at the end after the podcast if you just want to laugh at me. And just disclaimer, like, to all of my British friends, my accent is terrible, and I'm not trying to make fun of you. It is a bad impression of love. Hannah knows. I pretend to make fun of her accent all the time, and I can't really do it. But anyway, it was super amazing. Our hike was like 12 miles or something like that, and it was just gorgeous countryside. We walked up into the hills of the South Downs, and then we're walking through fields of sheep, like no barriers. We were just walking through them, fields of cows, sights for miles and miles and miles. And then, it rained a little bit, which we expected it to drizzle, but we had our raincoats. And then it thunderstormed. It thunderstormed real bad. And we were just stuck up there, and we didn't know what to do. And there weren't a whole lot of trees where we were. So there were like this really tiny little bunch of trees, and Nathan and I just huddled under it, and it was kind of miserable because we got soaked, and it was pretty chilly that week. I would say it was like in the 60s, so that is not really comfortable weather to be totally like soaked. But we did eventually dry off, which was kind of impressive because I was wearing jeans. My butt was the last thing to dry off. I had a soggy bottom all day. But it was amazing. So yeah, we walked into Lewis. We realized that we had a bunch of extra time. And then I said, why don't we spontaneously jump on a bus and go to Brighton and just spend like 2 hours in Brighton? So we did. And then it was gay pride. So that was just hilarious. I was thinking of like a quiet walk on the beach, and then it was pride, and just crazy, crazy scene there, which I'm sure you have seen some of or will. I was going to do a vlog. I guess I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'll certainly put some of the footage at least in the beginning. Even if I do or don't do a separate vlog. Not sure. Yeah, and then in London, I hung out with Ellie of the Skein Deer podcast. Hi, Ellie! That was super, super fun to meet her in person, and I went to the Skein Deer den and looked through all of her knitting books, which were amazing. And yeah, we went to Liberty together. It was a lovely day. We ate bagels. It was great. It was really good. Yeah, so that's it. I'm just trying to get back to normal, which has been kind of tough, especially with everything that's been going on in the world, and especially in my home country, which I think just has different meaning to me now that I'm living in a country that not too far in the distant past had a lot of the same things going on. And it's interesting living in Germany that everywhere that you walk around is a constant reminder of the dark past and sort of this culture of hate that festered in this environment. And they certainly haven't forgotten, and they don't want to forget. And I don't know. I don't have anything super eloquent to say about it other than it's been really hard and really heartbreaking, especially to be so far away, because I feel like there's nothing I can do. Yeah, it's a hard week to be an American, for sure. So anyway, I'm sending a lot of love and light to all of you, especially my friends back in the U.S. during this really difficult time in our country, and yes, everyone all around the world. So that is really it for today, you guys. So just as a reminder, the Townist Cal is going on. The Sell Blue Mitten Club giveaway will be up in the group, and that's really it, I think. So sorry to end on kind of a sad note there, but yeah, you all bring me a lot of joy and happiness and positivity. So anyway, I will see you guys in about 2 weeks. So until then, have a really happy, safe time, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.